On the eve of Bad Blood, which is tonight, WWE SmackDown had another fire show. Ever since coming to the USA Network, they did not disappoint in any slight of the word. We had AJ Styles returning. We had Meechin versus Chelsea Green in a dumpster match. We had Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton, and then we had a banger of a triple threat ladder match. The first triple threat ladder match in 5 years. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Saturday. It is 12 o'clock, aka drink o'clock, and it is now time for the premiere show, the SmackDown Penitentiary. Let's get right into it, y'all. Yeah, boy, it's about that time. It is time for the SmackDown Penitentiary. This is the premiere show on UPR, and I am one of your wardens of the SmackDown Penitentiary. I go by the name of Z Silent, the incomparable, the almighty, the apprentice of Thanos, aka Mr. AKA. But my co-warden will be here shortly. He told me 12:15, but I can't wait no longer. We are already 10 minutes late. But how was everybody doing on out there? We had a really good show on SmackDown last night. As I said in the intro, we got AJ Styles returning. We had Meechin versus Chelsea Green in a dumpster match. We had Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton, and we had a triple threat ladder match. The first in 5 years, according to WWE. I don't know if that's true. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not a historian, but for it to be 5 years since we had that, it was a really, really good match. And overall, a really good SmackDown, in my opinion. And we're going to start right at the beginning where we get the returning AJ Styles being presented by Hardy. I don't know. I was thank goodness that it wasn't fucking Jelly Roll. As soon as they said somebody from Nashville, I was like, oh god, it's a Jelly Roll. But then I forgot Jelly Roll was about 45 minutes from here in Ocean City, doing whatever they're doing down there. So it couldn't have been him. As I am here in the penitentiary, and the penitentiary is always a safe space. You know, I tell everybody in UPR, even you fans, even you people want to come out here and debate us, you are all welcome to the SmackDown Penitentiary. And I want to introduce somebody who put me on, help me find my voice up in this thing, our anchorman of the UPR. I would like to say that he is the captain because he gets the most views. I don't want to say it's EC. EC just has the name, but this guy has the views. I'm modeling after him. The SmackDown Penitentiary is their premier show, but he is the head, the top of the class. I wasn't gonna say head of the class because no Diddy, but we're gonna welcome in Mr. Mike Knox of the Mike Knox Show. How you doing today, brother?
What's going on, man? Listen, I've been with you for radio for about 3 years, and that's the greatest you've ever interviewed me and kept yourself humble at the same time. I want you to know that. You know what I'm saying? But you could have just said what you wanted to say, and I know it was on the tip of your tongue, though, Diddy. The head of the table, baby. It's okay. what's going on? Thanks for welcoming me into the penitentiary. Trust me, I got my soap on a rope. All right. I got my commissary. All right. I even got my own water. Okay, I got my own. I got my own wine. I made in my toilet. You know that plum.
Okay. So you got that Pruno. that's that shit that Cookie Lion was zipping up in her cell. That Pruno. All right, getting into SmackDown, and something that I was really excited for, and I think most fans were excited for, but also the juicy contradiction of this was literally a week before they announced AJ Styles. You know what? I do have a struggle meal, which wasn't really a struggle meal, but it was just old fashioned meal that I had today. It was bacon and eggs. I cooked bacon and eggs for my son.
That's not a struggle meal.
I mean, the way that you cook it, though, you know, you got to mix it all up once you get in
No,
there.
that's
You chop the
bologna
bacon
and
up.
eggs is a struggle meal.
No, I'm just saying, you chop the bacon pieces up like bacon bits, and then
No,
you know
if you
you put
got
it in the
bacon
eggs.
bits and eggs, that's a struggle meal. But if you
No, I
got
had to make the
bacon
bacon
and
bits. I didn't buy
eggs,
the bacon bits.
that's a meal. Bacon and eggs by itself is a struggle meal. Is last week my kid said, "What do you call this?" I said, "We call this food." Okay, it had ground turkey and rice, and I found some mixed vegetables in the freezer, and I dumped it in there and mixed it together. That's a struggle meal.
You didn't have nothing to bind it together, a little sauce, a little
Nothing. They're just listen. They was like, what is this? It's rice and ground
It's called
turkey, yo.
struggle.
That's what it is.
It's called the struggle.
What's going on,
but
Jeffrey?
The excuse me. What I was saying before was the internet wrestling community likes to take credit for literally saying that they demanded AJ Styles because they had a problem with AJ not being featured on SmackDown. Listen, if it's not nothing for that man to do and he was on your TV every week, y'all then be bitching. Oh, y'all wasting his time. Y'all wasting the talent. Why is he there? So he's home. He's resting. He's at the back nine of his career. Let him take all the fucking breaks he wants. I want more. I want quality over quantity when it comes to my favorite wrestlers, especially on the back nine. AJ, Orton, Edge. Those guys. And when it comes to it, Reigns, Rollins, and even Mox to a lesser degree. I mean, what Mox is doing is very violent. However, he still has to be careful. Once you hit that 35 and up, you got to be a little bit more careful with your work schedule. And I think that Seth is doing that. I think, and we all know that Roman is doing that.
Yeah.
Sheamus,
Ain't nothing wrong with having a part-time schedule. I don't get mad at part-time wrestlers having part-time schedule. I didn't get mad at Brock. I didn't get mad at Roman. I don't get mad at Logan Paul. When you're an attraction, you're an attraction. So
absolutely. So a nice sign. He got a nice pop. And I was very curious of how he was going to come out. Was he going to be angry? Was he going to be pissed? And it seems that he is definitely turning face.
So go back to the old music then.
That's
if you changed the music because you were a heel and now you're face again, maybe want to hear somebody gonna get their ass kicked. Oh, that's wrong song.
Wait, that's more.
You know what I'm trying to say? I just messed up. I'm old. You know. My daughter hates the new theme songs. That's all I ever. As soon as, like, when you live with kids and they start watching wrestling, it's annoying. Like every week, God, I hate his theme song. Oh God, shut up.
Even
right,
the new Balor theme song. The new Balor theme song is a bop.
Well, that's Ben Balor hasn't never had a bad theme song. So.
He never has had a bad theme song. That is very true. But AJ comes out and he says he has a lot of work to do to change the optics of the way that people are viewing him.
Was that storyline or real yesterday? Because I was out and about.
I am ready to get into that, and I think that
I didn't see an X get thrown up, which meant it wasn't. It had to be storyline.
Well, that's what I see. I didn't see it television wise, but somebody, one of the pages I follow on Facebook, they go to the shows and they said that Lil Nate did throw up the X.
Okay.
I think it was the producer or whoever that was that came to AJ when he was on the canvas. And AJ just, slammed his hands on the mat, and I'm thinking that kind of looked real. But then after watching the replay, in which I'll show you in a bit, you can definitely tell it was a work, and it was very good. It was very good by AJ. But Mr. Carmelo Hayes comes out to the ring, and I know that he's compared to HBK. Seeing him next to AJ, I would make that comparison a little bit better.
I don't know where the fan base came with that bullshit.
I don't know. I don't either.
Fans, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to say.
I would put a Dolph Ziggler in the performance category with HBK.
I would put still on this level with the level of competition we're looking at in this picture right now. It's to be determined still. And I'm a big supporter of him since he's come up to the main roster. I wasn't a big supporter down in NXT because of the height differential and whatnot. So if anything, I think because they saw him with the leather jacket and the barbershop references, that's the first thing their feeble minds can go through. Is like, oh, it's like HBK because that's his guy. No, he's just because you channel someone doesn't mean you're like someone in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I can mimic what HBK did, but I think personally he might be above Shawn Michaels at this stage of his career, microphone wise, than Shawn was. Just to be honest, Shawn wasn't always the greatest talker on the mic. You know, and in ring again, we need to see more first. That's before we, as you would say to me, probably before stop telling these motherfuckers to go. He ain't done shit yet.
No,
what's next? You gonna call them baby HBKs? We can piss you off on Saturdays.
Oh, I hate that shit. Oh, but literally just Melo doing what Melo does. But I think that this is a good warm up for AJ, and we were talking where you could put AJ in, trying to get him back into the fold, me and Vic last week. And I think that this is right where you want to be with AJ. You're gonna squeeze him somewhere in between this Andrade, LA Knight, Melo feud for the United States Championship, which I think is absolutely fine. Until that belt comes off of Cody Rhodes, and goes on to somebody else that's not named Roman Reigns, AJ doesn't. He's not going to stand a chance, unfortunately, unless he goes to Raw. And Raw, I believe he instantly could hold that title, even if he's going against a Gunther. In which unpopular opinion, Gunther's reign is big ass cheeks. I don't care what nobody's saying. If y'all talk about executive consultant Steve said Damian Priest's reign as champion was trash, ain't no way you can't say that this Gunther shit is entertaining, because it's really not.
It's been a month.
It's been a month. In a month, and y'all was telling us that Damian Priest was trash. He was going to lose it. So he lasted 6 months? I think that's a respectable first reign. It's a first reign. Not everybody's first reign is their greatest reign. So let's pump the brakes on that. But AJ and
he came out jacked
Hayes,
too. He was super jacked.
He did. They're jarring back and forth, and LA Knight comes out and pretty much says that he will give Carmelo Hayes the US title shot if he can beat AJ Styles, in which I couldn't even predict where they were going with that, honestly. Because it's like you can't stunt Melo's his progress right now, but you can't derail AJ Styles on his first match back. Like it's just something that you can't do. I don't think that it's something that you can do. But going to this injury part of what we were speaking about, and this is why. Because AJ, when he does this, he does not bend his leg. And if you notice where his hand is, it's above his knee, still protecting Carmelo Hayes' neck. And this is a really good spot. And so where his hand
looks so
is,
real, bro.
it looks so real, but the way the way that your body goes, and he can't bend his knee, can't go back any further. So he can stick that leg out, but his knee can't go back any further because his hand is above the knee, right?
But does that mean it can't be a ACL or MC? Look at that pulse right there. The pulse, that man's leg is twisted like a nasty pretzel.
Yeah,
the ankle at the knee, the knee's a fickle bone.
Yes, but look how his leg is turned to the side. When you turn a leg to the side, it is very hard to break that thing, right? It's very hard.
I don't think breakage though. I think structural damage. That's what it looked. Yeah, I didn't think break because he got up to walk off on it. Remember, Kobe walked off on an Achilles. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking inner, and again looking for them to throw the X up. That'd be great. What's up, nephew? But just to see, like I said, live, I haven't seen them do that. So this is the new WWE way, like they did with Dragunov. You know what I mean? Like they just stopped it and said, hey, no contest. That was strange.
him turning that leg before he's about to plant it, so his foot should be flat, right? It should be flat, but the way he turns it makes it give that give and creates the illusion that it's something's really wrong. I mean, you see what I'm saying? See where his ankle buckles, so it makes it look like right there in this area, it makes it look like, oh yeah, something's wrong. But looking at it the first time, I'm like, oh no, oh god, my boy that came back, he's done already. I said, man, I put it in the chat. I said either AJ is a really good actor or that is legitimate, because you don't see stuff like this on TV. Like you really don't see it on TV a lot, and they did have Jeffrey did have a good point. They showed him backstage too, and they never do that. So that's when I started to say, okay. And then I'm reading most of the people's SmackDown results just to kind of see like what they thought of it, and everybody's using injured. So, yeah, I agree. This is why you still keep both wrestlers hot.
Okay.
And you can't have them first time AJ, first time Carmelo Hayes facing each other, and it's a one-off, right? I think that you build this series, you build this rivalry with them, and then you can insert them into the Andrade and LA Knight mix, and now you have a fatal four-way that can possibly go on Survivor Series if they're going to do Survivor Series, any other matches on Survivor Series. If not, you can hold it till what's after Survivor Series.
This to me is a amazing spot for Melo. Like you hit the nail on the head when you said this is more of the best comparison. Yeah. As far as statue, youth, where they are, what can he actually do? You know what I mean? And to put him in there with AJ, I just hate to see if AJ is actually hurt, right? Because I think AJ could be that catapult that is nowhere near Andrade for him that could help Melo Hayes get there.
Yeah, I mean they tried it with Andrade, which is fine. But at the same time, fans are still not, they're behind Andrade the wrestler, but not Andrade the character.
I mean, who's behind Andrade the character? You?
No. Pause. No.
Oh, shit. Shut up.
No. But I do like everything else about Andrade. Is just whatever his character is supposed to be. Just isn't working for me. Isn't working for most other fans as well. But I think it's still, with time, it's going to come. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay, give me a minute. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. So, of course, the minions here. So, next up, we get which would have been the match of the night. Would have been match of the night if we didn't have the triple threat match, the triple threat ladder match. Okay, get out my face. Go. Oh, you're not funny. Chelsea Green and Meechin in a dumpster match, which they've been promoting this thing for like a good three weeks to a month. And shout out to Chelsea, who can make trash look sexy. I'm just saying.
Not Duke the Dumpster Drosy. Not Chang Shaw Charlie. Not Mankind.
She had a fire outfit. Nice little trash skirt. I mean, made out of hefty bags. Meechin was looking good. Chelsea was looking. Listen, all of the ladies on SmackDown were looking phenomenal. Every single woman. I knew you had a thing for Piper Niven.
I knew you had a thing for Piper Niven.
Well, except for Vic has the thing for Piper Niven. Vic has the thing for Piper Niven. Hey, you know what? I'm glad you said that because I forgot that we do actually have a Piper Niven commercial for Vic. So, but anyway, Chelsea Green. Hold on, I can't. There we go. I need to be able to point to what I'm looking at. Chelsea Green.
Man, she grew on me. She definitely grew on me.
I will commit a murder for Dimples. Babe, he did it. Who did it? Him over there. The big 7 foot, 200 130-pound shredded motherfucker with the muscles. And then she smiles at me. Say less. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to die trying. Just for them dimples.
You go out on your sword for those dimples. I'm trying to see the dimples in the booty. So only dimples that matter.
This definitely was the best women's match of the night, out of the two. And you know what, the Oscar the Grouch, I don't know why they didn't even get into this. And this is everything that people say about women's wrestling. I think that they outperformed it. I think they outperformed it very well for people like Steve and Chris, who really don't value stuff, and they just kind of make fun of everything, but you don't take it for what it is, right? Like when we were younger watching Attitude Era, we just took it for what it was. We're not critiquing it, like, oh, that's terrible, that's bad. No, you got pop of the night. Nobody cares. I promise. Okay, good job. Okay, thank you. Daddy's doing a show. Shh. Okay, Siren Head, yes. Sorry, y'all. My son is obsessed with Siren Head. Don't let your kids watch Siren Head on YouTube. It plagues the brain. But as I was saying, for these two women, doesn't matter if it was their loudest pop that they've ever gotten on the main roster. They work their asses off. And stuff like this deserves to be heralded with a round of applause. Hey, can you have a Coke and a smile? Go play in your room, please. Okay. Shh. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Did you just tell my nephew to have a coconut smile and shut the fuck up?
I did.
That's pretty much what I heard. Damn, I knew
that table was going to be used for a really big spot because they took the legs off. I said, what the hell is this? I said, what the hell kind of table is this? Right? Shit ain't got no legs on it. As we are now joined by the co-warden here, who's 15 minutes late, passes 15 minutes late, but the Mark Vic. What's going on, brother?
Chilling, man. Getting off that train was a headache, you know. Yeah.
we don't need no more on location, so okay. Getting into this Chelsea Green and Meechin dumpster match. Really good wrestling.
I thought that was great. I really did. I was highly entertained by this match. It really brought me back to that. But I can see why they no longer do these things, because it's just I feel like prop wise it's just a lot. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like they don't.
Did you hear at this point it was right here, and who was it? Corey Graves on commentary. Corey goes, "What the hell is that?" as Piper Niven just came and smacked. He said, "What the hell was that?" And I'm thinking to myself, yo, what the fuck is that? And I was like, oh, she don't need to have no tracksuit on.
No, and you know what though? I was offended by how he forgot her name too. But,
he didn't even say who the hell is that. He said, what the hell is that?
Living, none of that. Like, yo, she's been forgotten right now. This is going on over here.
Well, Vic had his you get your Piper Niven fill in on this episode, in this scene. you get your Piper Niven in. You know what I mean? You got your Diddy oil.
Oh shit! Yes.
One of the best spots I've seen in a dumpster match. Not like I've seen a lot of them, right? It's not many dumpster matches, but even in a weapons type match for women, this is really one of the best spots that I've seen. Fire. Okay. Gentlemen, please talk about this match while I go tend to him. I don't know what's going on right now.
Okay. All right. Well, I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. I think that Chelsea Green is a treasure. I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up winning the next Money in the Bank or some mid-card title if they come up with because this is her paying her dues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I see that, and she just made Chin look great.
Yeah.
Gave her a push that I think her husband is jealous of. Yeah,
Was this the best dumpster match of all time?
of course. This was the second dumpster match. Like how many?
That's my point, right? So the one
It,
behind you, back in the WWF days, that one with Mankind and Chainsaw Charlie and the New Age Outlaws was nowhere near as entertaining, and I love that match as this one.
facts. That's true. That is true because they were just they. I mean, I don't know what the purpose was. I don't know if I missed a part of the story or something, but I really don't know why they decided to do a dumpster match. I mean, it was great. But for them to just pull this out of nowhere was wild to me.
They did the dumpster match because Meechin got beat with a trash can by Daya, and Chelsea called her trash, and so they just kept.
I
They just
thought
kept
somebody
teasing
got
her
called
about it.
trash.
Yeah, they just kept teasing her about it for weeks. So that's how that match came about.
Somebody actually came out to Bag Lady by Erykah Badu.
Now, the other thing I don't understand is why Judgment Day do that because they're walking around with T-shirts saying "street trash," right?
I didn't get that either.
You know what I mean? Like, and because Damian Priest was the one being called trash, so I don't understand. Now, don't get me wrong, the shirt is hot. The way they did it is cool, but what? You know what I mean? Like, because if they did that and then they had a dumpster match, okay. But it was Meechin versus Chelsea Green. So, yeah, I mean, the only thing that I don't understand is what happens now. Where is this going?
I think I think that it's done or it should be done. But we
I mean,
do
but
need Chelsea
my
as
thing
Money in the Bank. I would
is
love Chelsea as Miss Money in the Bank.
oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I definitely think she's gonna. I definitely think she's gonna do it and then have like a Carmella-esque run.
Oh, and in other news that absolutely nobody cares about, like Candice LeRae wins the WWE Women's Speed Championship. I guess all that crying about not being on TV helped her. If that even
Wait,
does
she
anybody
won.
know who the WWE Speed Champion is for the men's? Is it still Andrade? They don't even
Wait,
talk about it no more.
There's a woman speed champion.
Yeah, she's the first. She's the first one. They just crowned her last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've held the tournament for I don't know the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I
So
still have to catch an episode of Speed. I need to watch Speed. All
I don't
right.
even know how to access.
Do they have like Speed recaps on YouTube? Do they do that? Is that a thing?
I don't even think it's long enough for. And that's sad. That is sad because they don't even acknowledge that it's Andrade.
And I
somebody else.
Why. Like, no, Michael Cole is sitting here talking about how these guys were 7-time New Japan Pro Wrestling champions and blah 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 and all this stuff, but then like the Speed Championship is like an afterthought. Why don't you that Andrade is the champ? Why doesn't Andrade come out with the title? Like, I don't understand. You know what I mean?
So
like, it's weird.
After the dumpster match, we get Naomi doing a little stretching, doing a little warming up, and then we see Bianca and Jade looking pretty in pink and fuchsia, whatever that is. That's nice. It's not just pink. There's lilac. I don't know, something nice. But all that's on the screen, chocolate cake. Chocolate cake. Sprinkles, cake, cheesecake. Scrumptious. And they talking, she watched them on NXT, and then, congratulations getting their belts back. And then she said, yeah, we're gonna turn up at ATL. She said, what do you mean we? Said, yeah. So now it's Naomi is now added in as a host for tonight's Bad Blood. Now, if this has anything to do with the quote unquote reports that WWE is insensitive to blacks on pay-per-views or whatever, in which I don't really care. I'm not checking for nobody on the main event scene right now because nobody as an African American has a storyline that I even care to be invested in. The Rock's not there, so I don't really care. Do we count Roman as being black? We could, but we don't. So we're not. Don't care. Carmelo's still not proven yet. Jey Uso, if he's black, oh cool, he got the IC title. I don't think that thing was forced. I don't think it was forced. I think it was natural. If Braun Breaker can have his title for 51 days, and they're saying it's short, tell me a long first reign. That was meaningful. I don't really know one off the top of my head, but I don't think this is a bully thing for the IWC. I don't think it was a bully thing. Like, I see a lot of black internet wrestling community people are saying, yeah, we bullied them into doing this. Da, da, da. Did you? I mean, it still wasn't no room for them to have a pay-per-view-esque match on Bad Blood. Every match on the Bad Blood card deserves to be on the pay-per-view named Bad Blood. They are all high story rivalries that have expanded for the better part of the year, at least 6 months or more. At least. Even if you want to go live in Rhea, you want to go Damian and Finn, you want to go CM Punk and Drew, you want to go Cody and Roman versus the Bloodline. Doesn't matter. They're all like high profile rivalries. So why would we put a makeshift tag team match there? Then they could be bitching about, oh well, this was an obvious choice. Which do you want?
So now, okay. So notice how you just said that, right? Now, since the direction, and this might be moving forward, since the direction is that the PLE is going to have the matches that are pushing the storyline. Everything is a Bad Blood, and this is for everyone that's complaining about only having 5 matches in the card. So if moving forward, whenever they have these in your houses, and you know the reason why I'm calling it an in your house is to push the storyline. Is that a reason? Is that a good reason to increase the ticket price? Because now every match is special.
Chris was trying to get that last minute deal.
I'm saying, every match is special now. You notice how, listen, they had the Dudleys versus the Hardys versus Edge and Christian last night at a SmackDown. That's what they did at a SmackDown, right? So they're doing shit that is special, right? And now for 5 matches, I'm just saying, people are complaining, but are we getting quality? Are we getting quality? Who's going to go? All right, I'm right. Let's be honest. The only match where people are probably going to go pee is Damian Priest versus Finn Balor, right? Because everybody's over that feud, right? But all the other matches, come on.
Fire. It's fire.
Yeah.
And it's starting at 6:00. Like, we have complained so much about being up late. And it's not even the fact of being up. It's the feeling of, as soon as this pay-per-view gets over with, I can't do anything else because I've spent all my evening watching this, and now it's really just time to wind down and go to sleep. But here's
the thing, it's time to wind down and go to sleep, right? But if the event starts at 6, right, and say it ends by 10, right? Do you know how much money there is on the table for the young people? Everybody's gonna go to the after parties, bro.
That's probably what's going to happen.
That's the whole. In my opinion, that's the point.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what's going to happen. Especially as we bring Mike Knox back in here, as we're talking about this lovely display. Now I want to ask you. I don't know if you heard, but do you think that WWE was bullied into force feeding these black women to host Bad Blood?
Shit. What a tangle web we weave, right? where there's smoke, there's fire, they say, right? I would say somewhat, but I also say that they've always been great at marketing areas. They're in Atlanta. Atlanta has become, whether people want to admit it in New York City or not, the mecca of hip hop over the last 15, 20 years, I would say. And that's majority of the music that comes out today comes from the South. They're in the South. Why not have representation at its finest? Be there. The same thing when they do Clash of the Castle. You getting it featured by DM Hunk, and when they go, different cities and countries, there's no difference there. So, and what you're talking about, I'm gonna say, you really can't tell. It's where they are, and they've always been good at marketing. And when you got BGM on the screen,
Oh God.
I mean, why not use them? That's all.
I'm just it just baffles me that there is literally nothing right now for any person of color in a high profile rivalry. It's just not there right now.
That's
And
what I
not
say.
Not everybody is in the spotlight 100% of the time. They really are not. It might
Wait.
seem like it, but they really aren't.
Is Jake Cargill's
okay.
really from Atlanta though?
Is she what?
Is she
She
from
said
Atlanta?
something about her stomping ground.
I
Did
think
she go to college there?
I think she went to college there. Yeah.
Oh, that's why she had that jacket on. What was that? What was?
Oh no, she's an AKA.
What is that? A sorority?
Ski. Yeah, it's the
Oh,
biggest
middle name's
female
Nicole.
sorority, like the Q Dogs would be, or Kappas would be for male fraternity. So it's the biggest soror out, or one of the biggest. Let me not have any women come at me, but it's one of the biggest and most known sororities, that's out there.
That makes sense. Okay. So
But did you-
like, there's a lot of people in Atlanta.
She went to Jacksonville University, so I don't know what
She
she
went to Jacksonville. You're right. She did go to Jacksonville University, but it's still South, and that's not too far from Georgia either. You know what I mean? Like as you did we always say the tri-state area, right? But that could be any area. It could be a tri-state area depending on where you are in the tip.
There
of
you
it,
go.
Right?
She has a house there. That's her start. It's like all the people always move to Atlanta. Old people want to move to Delaware. Other people want to move to Florida and Atlanta.
They want to move to Hockessin, Delaware. That's where they should move. Okay.
Hockessin,
If they smart, they're going to go to Hockessin. But what you were touching on, it's tough in the black community because you want to see the best, right? And we can all be upset and mad about Bobby Lashley leaving. Okay, we feel there was not there, but you heard Bobby out of his own words say it just creativity wise, they didn't want the same things. There. So you move on. I'm disappointed in it. I think it's a bad move. I think it's a huge win if what we believe to happen is going to happen. And when it comes to breaking up the New Day, I've said this time and time before, you don't have to break up a tag team to have someone go solo. So there's people questioning that part of, well, why break up the New Day? After that, what black wrestlers have been able, they're where they are. They're in NXT. They're with the NXT Women's, North American Women's Champion. They're with Obafemi. You got Trick Williams, right?
But according to the black internet wrestling community fans, this ain't good enough. That's not good enough.
So I mean, I you know me, I'm more than you, but I'm in the same parking lot with you as well. As that some things people just need to just relax, calm down. Now, if we're here again next year, right? And I said it before too. I hate that Bianca, to me, has been demoted to a women's tag team champion to get somebody else over. That's just my opinion. I don't care what she says publicly. She's a great public figure. She's supposed to say, oh, no, this is fun. It probably is fun. Not taking that. I don't know that. But it is a demotion from where she was. And I think this does step her back from that GOAT conversations and things like that, because with all due respect, you wouldn't see Charlotte Flair do this. They wouldn't let her.
Charlotte went down just to get the belt.
Just to get the belt. That was it.
The belt.
That was it.
Something to do. So I will say that is one of the things that
black wrestling fans just give it time. If we're here again, like, and if we're here after Rumble.
So wait a minute, because here's the thing: the Fords are very smart. They're taking advantage of all aspects of this business, because the fact of the matter is that if they get hurt or something like that, all they really have to do is smile for the camera. I understand. Like these people have their own show. They have like they're a brand. You know what I mean? They're unlike most wrestlers. So like for Bianca Belair to do things where she doesn't necessarily have to do much, I think is smart business. Because at the end of the day, you can put her in a storyline to fight for that championship at any moment. You know, her face is there. She's helping other people, and she's still making a ton of commercials. Like I think that they approach this the R Truth way, the Mark Henry way, you know, where you stay in the business for a really long time. And Naomi is a testament to that. Yeah, she doesn't get pop, she doesn't, you know what I mean? But everybody respects the hell out of Naomi. Wait,
Listen, Bianca's 35 and Jade is like, she's around the same age, I believe.
I waited 3 years to say this to you, Vic, and it took this moment. It was a
Bianca's
special
32.
moment in time. It must have been written that finally I can say this, as you would say to us. You're not Puerto Rican. You don't know. What you talking about? You don't feel the heat of the black community and what the black folks are saying right now. No, and I'm teasing partially of that, but I'm saying that to say, one of your things you say on Unpopular Review Entertainment, which is a great channel, by the way, you guys please go watch it. You always say the money grab for a sequel, right? Because you have to grab the iron while it's hot. It's something to be said about waiting 25 years for Beetlejuice 2. 25 years for it coming to America. If you're out of that spotlight too long, wrestling fans' memories is worse than 2-minute times, okay, or 10-second time, all right? That's how they are. That's how they think. The more and more she stays out of that top picture, the more and more they're going to have to build her back up. And I get what you're saying in totality because it's wrestling. I can make you a heel or a face in seconds. In seconds by cheering somebody, helping somebody, smacking somebody. She needs to be back in that forefront. This cannot continue to go on for 6-7 months because she's going to
look what you're talking about. You're saying back in the forefront. In the beginning, she was a shiny new face that everybody was happy to see. You know what I mean? But she's a veteran at this point. You know what I mean? Bianca Belair has been around for a long time.
What do you consider a long time?
Already 5 years.
That's not a long time.
That is a very long time.
No, it's not.
That's not that long.
It's not.
He's made history.
That's not that long.
Val Venus had a longer run. Do we remember him other than his name being Val Venus?
Yeah, the big Val
Chief
Venus.
Norley.
All those promos that he cut.
No, but that's not, those are not, that's not, but we're talking someone being known like the Brooklyn Brawler or the Gookly Gook compared to someone we considered at one point the GOAT, the standard for women's wrestling when we're watching little white girls wear black ponytails. Things like that matter, right? They're exploiting her because they are in Atlanta. That's great business. Exploit business, whatever, same thing as making money.
But my whole thing is that why is it that her having this championship does not create little white girls with ponytails anymore?
Because she's playing the backdrop. She's playing an equal, and she's not an equal. That's the difference to me.
Better than
playing
everybody.
the equal. Even when you had the 2-man power trip, what made it a 2-man power trip is that both guys looked like they were the shit and couldn't nobody fuck with them, despite their arrogance and their disagreements. These two girls, we know one has been historically above the other one, but she's bending the knee when she's not the queen of the North. She's the queen. That's all I'm saying. In retrospect, there's something to be said about that.
Wait a minute. Okay, so what's the direction for Bianca Belair then? Because the only static that I see her having is old static with Bayley, right? So the problem with Bianca being champion for so long is that it got stale.
I'm not saying she doesn't have to be champion. You don't have to be champion to be.
What position do you want her in then?
I want her to not be still helping somebody as long as she's been helping her. At this point, this rivalry between them, if that's what they're going to end up doing, pushing it, which they said towards Mania next year is what when everybody was hoping it was going to be this year between Bianca and Jade, and we all who know wrestling said that was too soon. Okay, I'm just saying she has to be back in the singles picture. No top. It's like they say in Hollywood, you don't go from Hollywood to TV Because we all know once you go to TV, you don't get back to Hollywood. You don't go from being a world champion over and over and over again to now being relegated to tag team wrestling. I'm not saying there's something wrong with her being a tag team wrestler. No offense if she's Naomi. But she's not Naomi. She is Bianca Belair. She is on every commercial. When they have something like they send The Miz because she's so well-spoken and loved, they send her out there.
Yeah.
This is exactly right. When the time is right. Like I said, not everybody can be in the spotlight 100% of the time. Because if they are, then where is the room for reigns like Nia Jax, reigns like Bayley, reigns like Tiffy Time when the time is right, reigns like Liv Morgan, reigns like Raquel Rodriguez when she decides to come back? Because if you look at it, that Raw roster, women's wise, is depleted. So
I'll say NXT, but we're talking two main brands, so
they need to continue to build their women and flesh out that division, because really NXT does have the best women's division in all of professional wrestling for a really long time. Yeah. It used to be, for me, it was TNA for a really long time before that women's revolution and the beginning booming period of the women's revolution. I still
it's definitely when you had Mia Young and all them girls in TNA, and the beautiful people, really, and it was insane. What's her name was there then, right? Widow's Peak girl.
So now,
Victoria.
Why does Bianca and Jade? Why do they have to have static in order to have a match? You see how Naomi and Bayley are ready to have a match and they're friends. Why does it have to be static? Why can't they just be like, "Oh, listen"?
Well, Bianca and Naomi and Bayley are fighting over a championship. These two girls.
No, they're fighting over a championship, and they're still having a friendly match. They've had a couple already. They didn't have to necessarily have static. That's my point.
What's going to start this rivalry is we've already seen it get teased earlier in the year when they lost the belts, and was due to Jade's inexperience. That wasn't done by mistake. That was done on purpose. So once they lose them again, Bianca's going to get fed up. Bianca's going to get fed up, but it has to be Jade that turns.
Or Jade gets mad at her. She got fed up. Either way, right? And I see what you're saying, Vic. Why does they have to be static? I'm not necessarily saying that. Let's not take the words I'm saying, I'm falling on my sword with that. I'm just saying, and I don't have to include her at all. This whole thing, and we do know this. Let's act like let's be in the tree. Let's not be the shorts crew, right? Let's be honest here, right? Everything in wrestling is about good guys and bad guys, good and evil. Even if you have your tweeners, right, which the majority of them all are, right? It's still about a story. To be on the best. To be the best is not to stay mediocre. And you said earlier just now, you said the top stay on top. Rock never fell so far. Austin never fell so far. Sasha never fell so far. I'm just saying, you name all the top guys, unless you're Daniel Bryan, because unless you're Daniel Bryan, because the company never liked you in the first place being there. You're always right. AJ Styles, it's never out of the picture because he's always, like you just said earlier, he's always right there. He's AJ Styles. He's established that. He doesn't go to tag team wrestling. He may get tag teams, but he's not delegated. And you know what I'm saying here. They forcing her to be a tag team wrestler.
I mean, Shayna Baszler didn't get to the point of Bianca Belair.
Well, Shayna Baszler, I love her to death.
But Shayna
can't be Bianca Belair. No offense towards her genetic upbringing. She just can't.
They even had a storyline together where they should have fought a long time ago.
It's not about that. It's about how she looks. Let's be honest here.
No, remember be honest. How Shayna Baszler was built. She was one of the most dominant people in NXT. The most dominant people in NXT, and she's been floating with that tag team championship.
Vic, this is not AEW where pro wrestling matters.
No,
it's not. It's not.
But my point is this. She went down, and the scene has gone down. I think what they're doing is helping these titles. You know what I mean? Like, you might look at that title like it's a piece of shit, but eventually it's got to come up.
No, I get that.
Bianca Belair is doing that, and I don't see why people don't necessarily appreciate that. They look at her like she's
some people do,
and I don't get that. Why she always gotta have the only one belt? Why can't she shine on another belt? Look, nobody got mad at John Cena. and becoming the United States champion. And
you know why? Because Jonathan Horatio Rodriguez, Tom Cena took the U.S. title and elevated it by having an open challenge every single week. These girls aren't having open challenges.
All right, so why don't you tell them to do that?
I can't tell them to do anything. If I would, it would be bring back Braun Petty matches. I said it.
You know they listen to us. You know they do.
Listen,
right,
you know when we're on together, you know they start to put up censors and shit, and we get cut off. So let's not go there.
No,
listen, let's just say this for you. Move on. I'm sorry, Dykes. I hijacked that part a second. I do apologize. I don't mind.
I'm the one that asked the question.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I was ready for it.
You know I love them girls, right? And I want the best for all of them involved. That's my truth. I just know in the black community where I do have the one for them when it comes to wrestling, you have to see the glaring differences between the greats of all time. They don't get demoted this far. Again, like I just said in the reference, they don't go to TV. Once you're a movie star, you don't go to TV. If you go to TV permanently, you don't get back unless you're Lucius fucking Lyons. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, all
I'm saying is, in my opinion,
To the Empire.
In the entertainment business, the goal is to be LL Cool J.
They're right. The GOAT.
That's the go. That's the go. No, not necessarily the goal. The guy that lasted the longest. You know, people like Busta Rhymes. You know what I mean? People that stick around forever. My bad.
They reinvent themselves.
Exactly. People like Chris Jericho.
Oh God, not the learning tree. Anyway,
the learning tree.
Now, as they are celebrating that they're going to be hosting, they do a little A-Town stomp, and my girl, Big Pam, and we're not gonna Big Pam. We're not gonna disrespect her. How Freckle Sensei tried to. My Google's going off.
It wasn't the greatest ATL stomp.
It wasn't. It wasn't, but it's okay because them things was jumping. And
is this the hashtag?
Yeah, we getting there. I just need. There's a nice. There we go.
There it is.
Ladies and gentlemen of the SmackDown Penitentiary.
Oh, you got. You know what? I'm sorry. You need to bring in some mood music from now on.
No, that's for the commercial. We do that for the commercial. We do that
I
for
need
the
to hear it live.
So when we hear at the penitentiary, those cells get cold at night, and we just sitting there with our thoughts and our struggle meals.
Eggs and rice.
Whenever eggs and rice, spam. Whenever we have this woman on our screen, the lovely, luscious, thick-assed, my shaved head queen, we simply would just like to say thank you, Jeffrey. Hashtag I love you, Pamela Martinez.
Amen. That's the plate.
And scene. All right. So, Thicky Pam walking to the ring says she's going to call out Nia Jax. And it was a nice spar back and forth, but I think it was more so about tippy time than it was about the match between both of them, those ladies. And speaking of where we at with it?
I appreciate how Bayley is still a little heelish. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I appreciate how she's manipulating the situation between Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. And Nia Jax is looking at her like, you bitch. You know what I mean? I like the whole aspect behind it because she's a face, but she's kind of she's not that much of a baby, if that makes sense. She's into her evolution. So because Bayley's evolved quite a bit, from the Hugger days. So
yeah. Listen, Sabrina, at least you understand. This is why you need to come and be a warden. Be a warden with the penitentiary. At least you understand. And speaking more of understanding.
Oh God, this is such
What
a
did I
great
say? What did I say?
episode.
Every single woman that appeared on the screen, with the exception of Vic's girl Piper,
Oh yeah, it's
who's
Vic's
still
girl.
in quarantine, every woman was looking beautiful.
Yum dilly yumptious.
Beautiful. Look at Naya. Look at you tussle with that big ass. Come here. Talking about, let me tussle. That's a lot of beauty on the screen right there. But like I said, I thought that this EC's here. Hey, our fearless leader. I use that term very loosely. Um oh, like I said, I think that this was more so about Tiffany Stratton, will she or won't she, rather than the actual feud between Bailey and Nia. Unfortunately, as much as I love me some Pammy, I don't think that she wins tonight, because now it's not even the match that's important. It's the story and the dynamic between Nia and Tiffy time that has taken more interest than the actual match. And I always think that if the storyline will overshadow the match, then the storyline is what matters. And that's how you can usually tell who's going to win. That's just my prediction on that. We're going to start with you, Vic. Thoughts on this segment and these lovely displays of human anatomy on our screen?
No praise.
Well, I think that Bailey is coming back and helping Tiffany Stratton get over even more than she already is. Because I think that they're not necessarily going to just hand her the belt. You know, I think that it was going to continue to make tension for Nia Jax. So I think that Nia is definitely going to win somehow with probably some kind of help or whatever, but they're definitely going to have that. Because for Naomi to fight Nia after that, it would probably make some sense, seeing as how Naomi won the match right after this, right? Because I found that interesting. I thought it was literally going to be Tiffany Stratton winning and just keeping her high, right? But they set the whole situation where Tiffany got all the. So I'm like, all right, that's interesting. You know, this whole story is really centered around Tiffany Stratton, not really anybody else. Bailey doesn't need that. You know what I mean? Her name is big enough everywhere. She's selling enough shirts.
Her ass is big enough too.
Like, you know, she doesn't. She's not somebody that needs that. Though. Nia definitely does, because she's showing her dominance. I mean, it would, for me, in my opinion, it would be nice if she would join a blood. And then,
oh my God! Every week with this, it's over. It's not happening.
you know, if Naomi, this is also turn Naomi heel.
It's not happening.
I want to see Naomi go heel and be the bloodline champion. All right. Who knows?
Every week, it's not going to happen. Every week, you just eating bread.
Nah, I mean it for cheap.
Struggle meals here at the penitentiary. Mike, your thoughts on this segment? And if you could go ahead and bleed into that sleeper of a match between Naomi and Tiffy time.
I just think it's going to be what it is. This whole thing is about building up Tiffany, as we talked about in the last segment, and women, and you know, where I say we're all walking contradictions, right? Because you have to understand the difference in the dynamic of professional wrestling. This is about Tiffy. This is all about Tiffy. She's the one that has to come up. Naomi's. I know people don't want to like when I say this, whatever, but her time's kind of passed. She's there because she's the name right now. The fans don't even know when she comes out anymore because the music's changed. Things like that they should go back to. But you know, in reference to the match, it was pretty solid. I thought last night the part that upset me the most about last night is that why were some of these matches on this and not the pay-per-view? And I get they try to hype up the go home shows as being strong. not as strong, but strong, like a pay-per-view card. But there's some of them are strong enough to be on a pay-per-view card. Not saying this was one of them, but this could have been more of a lead match on this go home show than some of the other matches were. Because this is about the storyline. The storyline has yet still to be untold.
No, but look, and I have brought this up to Dice earlier, right? You see how they have less matches at the pay-per-view, but all the matches are quality. There's really no filler. Maybe there will.
5 matches is shitty, Vic. They could have put 6 matches. They could have put that tag team match last night on that pay-per-view.
That's right. But they decided to put it on a SmackDown.
They've been putting them on SmackDown every week. That's what Triple H does. These five match pay-per-views are not the lick, especially when you're going up in your prices the way they have been going up in their prices.
That's right. So now when the matches are getting better at the shows, right? Does that justify a higher price? Or no?
Well, the match is getting better. I can't say the
The
matches are getting better.
at the SmackDown, and then the match is getting better at the pay-per-view.
I think you're tripping. They're the same regardless. They the same. I've seen them book strong as Raws and SmackDowns, and I've seen them book strong as pay-per-views. These
How
pay-per-views.
often do they have a triple threat ladder match?
That's not
Been
the
5
point,
years
Vic.
according
The
to them.
point is that you give a pay-per-view and you get 5 matches continuously when you have 2 brands. You have 2 brands. They're not splitting up pay-per-views into separate brands anymore. They're all one brand, and you give us 5 matches. I'm not saying give me an 8-9 match pay-per-view card, but last night's match could have been on the pay-per-view. Okay,
I think
the Jey Uso and Braun Breaker could have been on the pay-per-view or the PLE, whatever somebody wants to call it. They could. Some of these matches don't need to be on Raw. Again, that's just me. That's just me.
But
You know?
but even if you do it like that,
what gets more circulation and all of that and everything is increasing in price. The Raw and the SmackDown, it's not like, and they're doing less house shows, so everything is becoming more special. So now, because everything is becoming more special, here comes the price hike. Everybody's complaining about the cost of going to these pay-per-views compared to what it was before, but there's a reason why. That's my main point.
The reason. What's the reason why? What would you say the reason why?
They're
I'm just
giving
curious because what you're saying isn't close to being true to what they're
you a
doing.
better product. They're giving you a much better product than they were giving you before.
Whose authority? What product? I'm sorry. What product are we talking about?
Because the thing is that if they're selling out the shows, they're
selling out anyway. They were selling out beforehand.
Okay.
They can give you a shitty show and it's still going to sell out because it says WWE.
Now,
It's
if
still
you're
going to sell out.
if you're selling out before and then you increase your price and then you're still selling out, why would you decrease your price?
Well, because when it comes to anything, music, food, the economy, gas, they go up. We have no choice. We pay it. People are idiots. I want it. They pay it. I was an idiot who paid $100 for a McGregor and Floyd Mayweather fight. That don't mean that has nothing to do with what you're talking about. That's not the price of tea in China. They're raising what they're doing. Doesn't equate to the show being better or not. It's been the same regardless. They raised the price because they got taken over by TKO and they could, and people paid for it. The same seats that were $600 for floor seats are now $10,000. That's a problem. So if I'm going to pay $10,000 for a seat, give me that triple threat ladder match last night. That's all I'm saying to you on the pay-per-view tonight. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, but
justify my price by giving me a better show.
For $10,000, you're getting Cody Rhodes versus Roman.
So you're justifying. So you must have $10,000 standing laying around.
I wish I did. I wish I did.
All right, because I know people. We know them, right? Some of us don't know them personally, but some of us do know them personally. I know people. Green shirt guy. I don't know him, but my man Mo_Eaton knows him. Per pay-per-view, right? All I'm saying is make it make sense. If you want to charge it that much, that's fine. Fuck these 2 nights of WrestleMania. Fuck these 2 nights of SummerSlam. I'm not an AEW fan, and but I'd rather have a 7-hour fucking Tony Khan fest than 2 fucking days of wrestling the way they've been having them with 5 matches on each night.
I think what Vic is saying is like the at any given night, if you go to a Raw, you can still get a PLE quality match that is on regular TV. And that's the unpredictability of all right, I gotta watch. I gotta go to Raw. I gotta go to NXT. I gotta go to SmackDown. I gotta go to the PLE. So you constantly have that interest, and for a lot of people, it is that come there with their families. It is a long process for some people. I've never been to an event. I still have to go to one. But for those who have kids and you got to get the whole family involved, you got food and your travel, and it's a whole process for some of
It's
those people.
built as a family organization, Dice. I can't afford to take my kids.
But that's what I'm saying. If they're doing very, some things that could be pretty goofy to us, but as somebody watching it as a family, it's entertaining to that family, right? So they still have to appeal to that family. So a five match card doesn't necessarily make me not. It doesn't. I don't have a gripe against it. Reason why? If this shit is over at 10 o'clock, 10:20 at the latest, I am great.
But see, that's not my gripe though. But look, normally it starts at what time, right? They start at 8 o'clock normally, or 7. They go from 7 till 10:30, 10:45 for 5 matches. And I get what we're saying in totality. Does it bother me? No, I'm still watching it. It's still exciting, and they do seem the pacing of them are great. What I'm saying is that you're to me, you're lessening, right? They always say things like, let's use the creator here. And he says, why don't get Brock Lesnar every single week? Because he's an attraction, right? He's an attraction. A pay-per-view is supposed to be an attraction, right? Yeah. It's not your regular Raw. It's not your regular SmackDown. It's supposed to be bigger than my Raw and SmackDown. So if it's supposed to be bigger, and because trust me, with the AEW contract to Max and Max getting the discounted for the pay-per-views, Peacock being free because you pay for Peacock getting WWE pay-per-views, that shit's going to change soon, people here. I can predict it right now. It's going to change. With what they're charging to get in that building, there's not going to be free no more on TV. So if I'm going to end up having to go back to paying $30, if we're lucky, for a pay-per-view, then make it that match last night, whether it was Tiffany and them, I'm not saying that's a pay-per-view worthy match, but it was a good match. It was unexpected, right? You talk about getting people over. You want to get Meechin over? Put her on a fucking pay-per-view with the tribal chief. Not a SmackDown where there is no tribal chief. There's no Cody Rhodes. There's no Kevin Owens. That's all I'm saying. I love Trips to death. And I was the one who called it the Triple H era before anybody else. But his booking ain't been the greatest.
So the last as you guys were talking, the last Bad Blood pay-per-view that was held in 2004 actually had 7 matches on it. So he's not that far off in the sense of his card.
I mean, no, I just feel like this is what's going to happen in general. They're going to where it's kind of a situation of less is more, where they're giving you less, they're giving you more quality, but they're giving you less and they're charging more. And that's pretty much the wave of the future. And in my opinion, I don't think there's any way around it, because the truth is, like, people that are at least over 40 and watching wrestling are not going to stop watching wrestling.
Are not what?
Are not going to stop watching wrestling.
Yeah.
So the people that get introduced to this stuff with the Netflix era that's coming, it's going to be a whole different ballgame. Everything is going to get more expensive. This is not going to be the wrestling of before. And I already see the change happening. I certainly think that we're going to have crowds like we had in France, where there was no kids and they sold out the place.
They're not going to go back to doing rated R stuff.
I'm not saying rated R. All I'm saying is that they're not necessarily going to go after kids like they did before.
I don't think they necessarily went after kids on purpose in general. Kids just watch it, just like when we were kids. I think their demographic is 18 to 40 something. It's always has been.
What demographic sells the most merch usually? It's the kids.
Adults.
They make all of these little
adults. Kids don't have no money. Adults. The adults that take them there are the ones that do it.
All these little Hulk Hogan, the little whole Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan dolls and shit like that. Like, even back then, it wasn't adults buying. People were buying like magazines and shit. But like my whole point is that for them to have somebody that's kind of chasing the attention of the children, I think that's going away. I really do. I think that over time, within the next few years, if the entire demographic is going to be like teenagers and up, because yeah, I definitely see all of this changing. You know what I mean? Even like when you go to an AEW show, you see very few kids compared to like what WWE has been for the last 20 years. And I definitely think they're going to go that direction because they can get away with filling up 13,000, 15,000 seats in arenas, charging top dollar with 1,000 neck beats. So, yeah.
All right. Before we get into the main event, wanted to touch on this little backstagey stage segment with covered in trash. She still looks really good.
I'm sorry. That's crazy, man.
That is crazy.
That's good. No, but yo, listen.
Covered in trash and still looks.
As of last night, no longer do I say Zack Ryder, woo, 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 you suck, bro, because he should be sucking something. Okay, so.
Yo, he's a lucky
dude. She's walking by everybody, and she is stinking. And this was funny because they were like, yo, my cake stinks. He was like, no, it's Chelsea Green. So I thought that was funny. And then Legado del Fantasma passed her by speaking in Spanish. And I thought the funniest part was at the end when she tries to approach Nick Aldis, who's still trying to figure out what's going on with AJ Styles. And he can't even stomach it, right? And she walks away, and then Carmelo Hayes comes up and is trying to get his match, and he's like, "Nah, you're not getting no match. I gotta tend to AJ right now. I gotta see what's going on with AJ." And he walks away, and then Carmelo's looking at him like, "Motherfucker, you stink!" Like, like he's looking at him like, "Nah, that ain't me." But I thought that was. I mean, when it comes to pretty much anything that they're giving Chelsea, she's knocking it out of the park. So again, she's literally. I mean, it's only a matter of time before she gets hers, and I mean, we all want Chelsea to get hers because Cardona ain't getting her. Get hers. So,
she definitely money in the bank or something. Hopefully, they mid-card title. So.
We also did get a little vignette in which people are saying that this is the Motor City Machine Guns coming. I tried to decipher it multiple times as I looked at it. I don't see the correlation of it as big fans of the Motor City Machine Guns as I was in when they were in TNA. I just
they're not moving on needles at this point in their career.
I don't think so at all. I think, but you getting them in there eventually with Lucha Bros, I think that will elevate that tag division even more, no matter what brand they go to. But I just didn't connect the dots when they're putting. Okay, so this tweet says Detroit statues, Detroit skyline, Detroit is the Motor City. Okay, if you can understand that, maybe. But for somebody like me, I'm like, no, it's not really. But it didn't move me. But I just thought it should be brought up. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take our commercial break before we get into the main event and get you guys up out of here. This is the SmackDown Penitentiary. Mike, you got a new commercial in here?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Previously on the Mike Knox Show.
Right? You're 22 years old, right? But there are so many great rivalries that have been a part of wrestling for such a long time. Like I just said, we got the Golden Age era. We had HH and the Macho Man, right? The new generation between Shawn and Bret. The Attitude Era between Rock and Austin. Hell, in my opinion, Triple H and Rock was better than Austin and Rock, even though Rock and Austin was a bigger was on a better, bigger stage than who Austin was. Cena and Edge, Cena and Orton, right? Fuck it, new now, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. And now, and then in this Triple H era, this has been the best rivalry. But it wasn't all his era. So we can't even say the Triple H era, right? Vince was a part of bringing Cody back, right? And all that going on. And this is just, to me, what's so big on so many levels, because when you think of wrestling, you think of the imagery the lasting images. That's what matters. I may not always remember every match that happened, but I can remember, respectfully disagree about Rock, Triple H, and Rock. Hey, Rock and Triple H was way, in my opinion, from a in the ring, everything else, to me, was better than Rock and Austin. And yeah, part of that's because I'm not an Austin fan, but again, hey, I didn't say that wasn't up for debate. Right? What's not up for debate is the New Day, 10 years strong, longest running active faction. That's not a debate.
Hold on here. Is this the barbershop? Is this the barbershop? Yes, it's the barbershop. Yes. I mean, we can't talk straight in the barbershop. Then where can we talk straight? We can't talk straight nowhere else. This ain't nothing but healthy conversation.
That was Mr. Mike Knox of the Mike Knox Show. Catch him every single Monday, 6 p.m. And going into our last match of the night, the main event, the main course, so to speak. Fire ladder match. I mean, I'm as much as we make fun of Tongaloa, he didn't fuck shit up. He didn't fuck anything up. He actually did what he was supposed to do. He did what he was supposed to do, which I was very surprised with. MVP of this match had to been Montez. I mean, was it any other question? I mean, that man was everywhere. He was everywhere doing everything.
Facts.
Honestly, I was very impressed. I was impressed with the bloodline. When they, for a good 4 to 6 minutes, they was whipping everybody's ass.
Facts.
For a good 4 to 6, and they was clearing the ring and clearing the ring, getting back in the ring, clearing the ring again, getting out of the ring, getting back in the ring. For 4 to 6 minutes straight, they looked completely dominant. And I think that I absolutely have no issues with them winning after performing like that, because that's the best showing of this iteration of the bloodline that we've seen, outside of whatever Jacob Fatu has done. I think that's the best showing that we've seen from both of those guys. But all six men did a really good job, really good spots. And this Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
He got all that. He got all of it.
Facts.
He got all of it. And shout out to what's her face, Tongaloa. He didn't crunch up. He took it. Pause.
Facts.
Listen, this part, and then when they were, shuffling, trying to get Tamatonga, I thought it was fire. They did everything that they've been getting done. That was fire. That was fire to me.
They got a This Is Awesome clap.
What's that?
They ended up getting a This Is Awesome clap. The whole crowd was into this match. So now, the one thing I noticed is before they started the match, Fatu was giving a really good promo.
He was.
Really good.
He was.
Like acting like Paul Heyman, putting over the tribal chief. That promo with Solo was really good, and then this match, the one thing I appreciated is that you have 3 established tag teams, not people that were necessarily just thrown together, and they pulled out a quality freaking match. I wouldn't have been mad if any team won this match, to tell you the truth. I was rooting for the Street Profits.
Yeah.
I feel like they need some They need some gold around their waist right now. But this, and this is what I was alluding to earlier. Like, they're gonna start to put all of this quality in Raw and SmackDown, and then the PLEs, it can be, filet mignon. Shit. But it's, instead of eating McDonald's, we'll start, going to Cipriani's.
This is the only bad thing about it, which wasn't even that bad because he still connected very well. So it just looked like he missed the blockbuster, but it's just like a high shoulder block. So it wasn't a bad spot. It wasn't a bad spot for anybody on the internet that would try to pick this part. No.
Montez Ford is the embodiment of leaving your body in the ring. This guy is something else, and he deserves at least a speed championship. Like, give him some, please.
Don't do that. Mr. Knox, your thoughts on this match before we get up out of here at the penitentiary?
Exactly what y'all saying. Like, this is why I thought this match could have been on the pay-per-view. The reason why it wasn't on the pay-per-view is because we knew who was going to win the match. That's what it is. It's just about the bloodline right now.
I just think something, before you go on, I just think something stronger is in the cards for the bloodline. And having the bloodline retain in this matter, even if you would have started the pay-per-view off
the Usos
with this, even if you had the pay-per-view start off with this match, the ending match, which it will be Cody and Roman versus the bloodline, something there in that story is going to be greater than their victory.
We're going to get a bunch of cinema tonight. Tonight's going to be cinematography at its finest.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But the match itself, I mean, it was good. It's I think you said it earlier, it can be a candidate for match of the year. It was really, 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 really well done. You said he didn't make any mistakes. At the end there, I thought he was. I ain't never seen anybody like the way that he held on, like the way he got onto the top of the ladder on the top rung. They never all the way go to the top rung unless they're gonna jump off the bitch. He grabbed the belts on the top rung. That's why Toma Tonga was holding the fucking ladder, because he was like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?"
He couldn't reach that, because they can't just take the belts off. They have to grab the whole little structure thing. So
I could have thought recently, and I can be wrong, of course. I thought I seen him rip them off recently.
I don't know the last ladder match, but the last time they had something hanging from the ring, they always grabbed the whole piece.
I could have swore I saw somebody rip them off. But either way, that ball almost fell. And part of me wanted to see him fall, just to see him fall. But he was grabbing that thing. But the spots, even the power bomb spot should be spoken about too, because that was symbolic of what the bloodline, the Wish version, have been doing to people as well. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was pretty cool in itself. And like you said, at one time they made them, you have to respect the Tongas, because they just whooped ass in that match a lot. They really, really, to me, this was their coming out party. Like, we already know what Street Profits can do. If you're a fan of DY Sucks, then you already know what they can do, allegedly. But this was the bloodline coming out to show they could be, they could compete with the big boys. It's WCW, huh? It's where the big boys play. Emphasis on big.
No diddy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a little bit of something for everybody here. The next show that you guys are going to catch the Bad Blood review show tomorrow morning,
11 a.m.
11 a.m. And then after that, you're going to find the Monday Night Raw review on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Freckle Sensei and Executive Consultant. And then next Tuesday with Bad Guy Jack and Sabrina Estella. And then Wednesdays, White Boy Wasted Wednesdays with Cactus Katie, Dan the Man, and Venomous Vinny with Dan the Man with news. And then Thursdays, Top 5 and Specials. And then you can catch us every Saturday for the Penitentiary, somewhere around 12ish, whenever the food gets done in the cafeteria for the struggle meals. But
I'm sorry, he put Slim. We on after Raw again.
Y'all don't even know. See, y'all don't even know what y'all doing no more, man. Come on, man.
Come on, Iron Man.
Come on, Iron Man. um, any last thoughts? Overall, I thought that this was a really good show. As I said at the beginning, in the intro, to have this wasn't a mail-in show, even though they wait, what's 2 hours again? Roll's 2 hours again? Now? Did they went to 2 hours already? This is a really good show in a preview of Bad Blood. I think Bad Blood's going to be a great pay-per-view. I absolutely do. I think that main event is going to be talked about just as much as that WrestleMania tag match with Roman, Seth, Cody, and Rock. But I'm just looking forward to wrestling on my TV. I watch wrestling every single day, so I'm looking forward to wrestling in college football. I mean, I've been watching Men in Black all day. I didn't realize how much I love the Men in Black movies, but I'm actually watching it now. I mean, it's on VH1.
Well, you should go right over then when you're done watching those movies and go watch Unpopular Entertainment, where we did the reviews of Men in Black 1, 2, and 3. There it is.
Any final words, fellas, before we get up out of here?
No, I know if Raw's going back to 2 hours, then damn it, we got a conundrum on our fits because the Mike Knox show might be going in. I'm just fucking with y'all. I'm just joking. Let me stop. And then I'll get mad and do shit like that. Look at Vic like, oh shit, but to have a damn board meeting because Mike didn't say some shit. Just joking.
Any words, Vic?
Yo, it was a good show. I like it, and it's showing what the future's, what's coming of the future. For the stock price to now be $127 is just, come on. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are doing big business moves. So all I gotta say is buy TKO stock.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
That's right, yo. Listen, it was $50 like 2 years ago. Right? Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Well, my paycheck and my checking is the same.
And but like, yo, with all of these moves that they're making, I'm sad to say that they're getting rid of like old fans, and that's how I feel. I feel like they're not necessarily going to cater to people that have been watching it for decades. They're going to cater to people that,
man, these old motherfuckers gotta get surpassed, man.
No, don't do that bullshit. It's just now it's trendy, and you know, wrestling is at its height. They want to say right now, so they, you know, but no, the majority of the people in those crowds are still the same wrestling fans who just don't care because they're
gonna pay top dollar.
Yep. Well, there you have it. I want to thank everybody here in the chat, all of you guys, the ones that are chatting with us, seen and unseen, because I know you guys will come on the back end. Everybody is on Twitter that sees us, and we don't see you guys. Anyway, we don't see you guys seeing us until later because everybody opens their Twitter and then they'll come up, but the numbers all whatever. But thank you guys for watching us. Everybody on YouTube, everybody on Facebook, no Instagram, everybody on Twitch. Thank you guys. You guys are the lifeline of the premier and fastest rising show on UPR. I don't know. Somebody please tell Freckle Sensei to get the memo. They are not the most bestest show on UPR. You stop talking like Rugrats. That's not a word. We got the numbers to prove it. We got the audience to prove it. We got the content to prove it. I'm just saying.
We got the Pamela Martinez segment.
We got the ass to prove it. Pause. All right. For Mike Knox, for the Mark Vic, I am the Z is silent. Remind everybody to live hard, love harder, love often, drink, be merry. Yes, reach for the sky and rest in peace to Jay Briscoe. Always them boys over everything. See y'all next week, y'all. Peace. What I think about the new logo, we already switched over the welcome to the new logo. I love the new logo. So everybody in the chat, let's go. Welcome to the
Smackdown Penitentiary.
We love the new logo here. The new logo is futuristic. It's getting with the times. We are whips and shits with the new logo. Big people can't be doing this. They don't have no regard for people, no regard for human. Look at this. You're not gonna sit your big ass on. Sitting your big ass on me like that. Get the fuck out of here. No. Nah, man. Nah, G. She couldn't even brace for that. I don't care. That's too much. That's a lot. Look, her thigh is just as big as her whole body. Her thigh. All this thigh meat is just as big as her body. That is a lot.
I mean, listen, but that's a good table.
That is a lot of work.
No, but that's a good table. Trust me.
I agree, Chris. No, it was no chemistry. I did not see any chemistry.
You can lay things on it while you're working.
I think more so, honestly, the better chemistry is Chelsea and Meechin rather than Piper and Meechin.